Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. As we get set to watch Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. A look now at the Miami offense.
I remember when Laramie Tunsil was coming out of Mississippi and I was evaluating him for the draft in 2016. Ended up writing down a description that I tended to like, and I'm going to use it here now. He's got feet like a receiver. He's got a body like an offensive lineman and hands like a boxer. Put it all together, you got a heck of an offensive lineman.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Allen. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Now let's take a look here at the Bills offense.
In the NFL, we love to talk about bloodlines and how important they can be. And for Zay Jones, he's got a terrific one. His dad, Robert, longtime linebacker in the NFL, big time with the Dallas Cowboys. And his uncle, Jeff Blake, a starting quarterback in the NFL at one point. What if he played catch with Uncle Jeff in the backyard a few times growing up?
It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
4 up to the 46-yard line. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make, because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the...
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And now it's Rosen looking. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. A look now at the Buffalo defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Dumps it off to Mixon. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So now here come the Dolphins. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. The numbers for Mixon last week: 18 carries, 74 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, "Coach."
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So after the INT, it's Allen. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. An excellent gain, 35 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Coming to you, coming to you.
They'll run it with Williams. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Point after here coming up. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary: 2 plays and into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7.
When I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game, for here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now it's Rosen. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Ed Oliver drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So following this sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. He's going to fire one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path. A significant number.
Williams. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And they'll get this down to the 10.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up. Let's go. Check 59.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. Williams loses the football. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home, the next guy comes through.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Allen. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the... Football back. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back to Mixon on first down. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will take over at their own 20. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Being chased out left. And that is Allen still down following the play. Appears to be shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. On second down, Williams. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's got his man. It's Williams. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, Swift. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Throwing on 3rd and long. Swift. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ellis. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Mark 93-19. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen, this is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Allen looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Out of the end zone. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Allen to throw once more. This is caught by Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills will add on to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score Bills 21.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bills to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the second half here with Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On play action, Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. A big play here for the Bills. 46 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Here's Allen to throw it. Finding Knox there, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
Whip. Watch the whip. Save.
Looking to throw again on second down. Allen, and he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. That's sacked by Tw0Mins. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Five wide.
On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Rosen. And that's caught by Smith. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 43.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here we go. Hey, alert.
Again, it's Mixon. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
What do you got?
He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On the NFL scoreboard, third quarter now from Jacksonville. And that is now a 2-touchdown lead for the Browns in that game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Williams. And some room to work. 23 yards the pickup there.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Williams. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. He completes it to Jones. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, a 22.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Gotta do better. Come on, go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Rosen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 40.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Here's Rosen to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Tight right. You got three down.
Rosen to throw again. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 25-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick him up.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. From 8 yards out, and the Dolphins are in for 6. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. On 2nd and 11 now. Allen, they'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That one good for 26 and a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Allen. It's Williams on the catch. And he's got another first down as he's brought down. At the Dolphins 21. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up.
And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Rosen will throw. The open man is Smith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 at a Dolphin 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. But they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 2nd and 10. Rosen trying for Cooper again. This time he finds him. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Mike 96. All day, dog.
They'll run on 1st down. Harding, room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Keep putting that ball on the ground. That's our ball.
Has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Tre'Davious White with a pick. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Buffalo, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Miami, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew,